Hi everyone, welcome back. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how to create a logo if you're not a designer. You've already picked your logo style and you're ready to get started, but just how do you do that? Well, in this video, I'm going to answer those questions. So stick around and let's find out. There is no such thing as a large brand without a logo. They just don't exist. That's because your logo is the first thing a customer sees when they engage with your products or services. So it's only natural that you want to create an exceptional logo. Great, but how do you do that exactly? Well, don't worry, I've got you covered. I'm about to show you the steps you need to take to design the perfect logo for your business. From the foundations of your logo to understanding your business personality, I'll share some of my top logo strategy tips. So if you're ready to find out what steps need to be taken in order to create an effective and functional logo, then let's get started. Why do you need a logo? Well, unless you have the unique opportunity to create a brand new market of products and services, you're gonna have some competition. You and others in your market will all try to attract similar customers. During the first impression, your logo is going to play a key role by giving off bits of information about your company and letting the customer decide if it's the right choice for them. Because your logo is going to play such an important role, it's no surprise that you are going to want to make sure you have a striking design. I tell clients that I work with, if you need a good place to start thinking about your message or the emotion you want your logo to address, then look no further than your company values and beliefs. You could also check out your competition. A great way to start gathering inspiration and ways to make your logo different is to see what's already out there. There's a lot you can learn from looking at other businesses in your market, such as what's working well and what's not. But be careful that you do not create a logo that simply blends in with the rest of your market. You want to create a look that is truly unique to your business. If it looks like all of the current companies in your market are using a simple, modern pictorial logo, then switch it up and use a wordmark logo with a stylish typeface. In the end, it's all about differentiating yourself from your competitors. Choose your logo style. When you enter the marketplace, nailing the right look is a critical first step for any new business, and knowing the difference between the logo styles available to you will give you a huge advantage. If you just started or have a small team and need to take a DIY approach to your design, then using any of the 7 common logo styles will give you a huge advantage. And they are pictorial mark, an abstract, word mark, a combination mark, letter form, emblem, and dynamic logo. Now remember, a good logo will have a strong visual impact and will stand out from the rest of your competitors. Make sure you pick the right color. Before you start building, you need to decide on a color palette for your logo. Colors can have a powerful impact on your emotions and thoughts, and unfortunately, we can't cover the entire history of color theory in this short section, but understanding the color wheel and a few key concepts can allow us to build an attractive color palette that's appropriate for your customer. Analogous. When you think of analogous colors, think about 3 neighbors who live next to each other on the color wheel. They usually pair up well and create a nice harmony in your design. Complementary. Unlike analogous colors who live right next to each other on the color wheel, complementary colors live on the complete opposite side. Not only does this produce an excellent look, but one that grabs attention. Monochromatic. This set of colors covers all the different varieties that one single hue of color will produce. Or, simply put, if you take this shade of blue and reduce it into white in 5 steps, this is the color palette it will produce. Triad. This set of 3 colors are evenly spaced apart on the color wheel, the most well-known combination being red, blue, and yellow. But it's not the only one. Because these colors often have a strong contrast, it can produce a very dramatic effect. If you want to take a look at current color trends and get inspired, I would encourage you to have a look around color.adobe.com. Now it's time to decide on the right typography. Picking the proper typeface that complements your business is no easy task. And just like color, I can't give you a complete lesson on typography. But if we can narrow it down to 2 simple typefaces, then you'll already be ahead of everyone else. And you guessed it, those 2 typefaces are serif and sans serif. Let's talk about serifs. The most obvious thing all serif typefaces have in common is the use of a small line at the end of the letter. And you guessed it, it's called a serif. A few examples of serif typefaces are Times New Roman, Garamond, and Georgia. And you'll generally want to use these typefaces when you want a more traditional and classic look to your logo. Now let's talk about sans serif typefaces. Sans serif typefaces tend to not have the extending lines and features that you see a serif typeface have. And the width of the letter is generally consistent throughout. You don't see a lot of the variation that you see in serif typefaces. And honestly, you could probably pick any modern company and see that they use some form of a sans serif typeface in their logo. Now, the reason I've decided to focus on these 2 typefaces is that they tend to be pretty flexible and work well when used together. Creating your logo. Now that you've carefully considered every element of your logo, it's time to start building it. Now you have a few options when it comes to this, and each is going to come with its own pros and cons. Now honestly, each option is going to depend largely on the budget and timeline you've planned for your new logo design, so you should carefully consider which option is right for you. You can start by looking at a large design agency, but this option is not going to be quick or cheap. Which brings me to the next option, using an online logo maker. This solution is instant, it's inexpensive, but you're also going to run the risk of picking a pre-made logo that's already used by somebody else. A good middle ground is hiring an independent or freelance graphic designer. This person will give you all the benefits of working with agency designers, but might not have all the bells and whistles that drive up costs. However, if you're on a tight budget like I mentioned, then stick around because in my next video, I'm going to cover a few free design tools that'll get you up and running with your new logo. So head on over and I'll see you there.